Minority in Parliament has raised an issue about the gas infrastructure project. Katie Hammond, who is a minority spokesperson on energy, says it's bloated by $600 million. He alleged that a group of 5 people on the board of the National Gas Company inflated the cost of the Itiabo project. That's a gas infrastructure project at Itiabo. And he says he cited documents supplied by Ghana Gas suggesting that they've expended as much as $1.3 billion on this project. And he's shocked at this. And well, the project was awarded to Sinopec, Sinopec, and they were expected to have completed the project by 2012, but years of delay, and now we've seen its commissioning in phases. What do you say?
Well, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. I am surprised that Katie Hammond is surprised. I am not surprised. Most of the projects in this country under the NDC had seen rocketing additions. So cost-wise, yes, by huge market prices, by huge margins. Oh, even Kenke. Guess how much we bought Kenke at Brazil. So you will know, you know the kind of people you are dealing with. They have the penchant to increase cost of projects. The presidency, yesterday, how much in addition, excess, did they spend out of budgetary allocations? So I am not surprised. If I would have been pleasantly surprised if the cost had remained as it is, or we had just about 20%, 30% increment because of market variation or maybe addition of. But sometimes as much as how much? 600 million. Maybe the whole concept would have changed. And the lack of competitive bidding is also my worry. Probably, yes, you might have all the necessary reason why the cost should go high. Maybe you have changed the concept, or you are even changing the equipment that should be used. But when it comes to sole sourcing, and then our laws are put aside, and I'm sure member of parliament, maybe
what do you mean the laws are put aside? Sole sourcing is part of the procurement act.
It is part of the procurement act, but when you have almost everything, more than 60-70% of your procurement going through sole sourcing, and the cost is not value for money, you must be worried. I'm sure members of parliament are worried. You might not say it, but sometimes when you look at these figures, you clinch. I am sure you do. I hope that this president, this government will realize that Ghanaians are watching. And the international community is also watching, because we don't live in isolation. What worries me is that our credibility, even in the international community, the British or the European Union is withholding some funding to Ghana because they are not so sure of the way we're doing. We
got to do with procurement of some.
Exactly. Our whole handling of fiscal policy in this country needs to be looked at again. You would come and say, oh, yes, it happened in 2020, it happened in 2016, 1992, it happened in 2000. So we continue to do it. There doesn't seem to be any improvement as to how we would go on, how we reduce our over-bloated expenditure. These are not perception. These are factual. Unless, of course, Katie Hammond is not giving us the fact.
Well, he said he cited documents that seem to.
Yes, so it's a document. If you look at the 2012, the 2012 allocation, the money that was allocated to the project, and look at what we have expended on it, you will know the value. So this is not a matter of perception. Unless somebody comes to tell us that. It
is also true, Fred, that once timelines for projects tend to extend, then the cost also ultimately will have to increase
more than 300%, and well, you can justify it.
I'm only talking about normal project management practices.
Exactly, but this is a dollar index cost. Project. This is a dollar index. So what are we talking about? If it is CD and you're telling me
maybe
inflation and devaluation and depreciation and all that, I can understand. But if it is dollar and you're
not going to buy it,
I'm not going to buy it. But I'm not surprised anyway. I expect that's what they will do anyway.
It should be a concern for us all, especially you in Parliament who have made all these approvals and you're hoping that
Roland,
these will be completed.
Roland,
and your even constituents
Roland,
will get
I'm very happy the way my brother has danced around the issue. And you realize that when he was mentioning the years in which these things could have happened, he tried hard, ended at 2000 and jumped into 2012. So 2001 to 2004, 2004 to...
But he said that equalization is not...
No, but why did he jump those things? It's because it's deliberate.
So your point is?
My point is that it only happens, if ever, it did, within certain governments, but it's not true. Let me give you just two examples. You see, when we are talking about things like this, because I represent the people, sometimes you are minded to pay attention. So I left to me alone as an individual. These things don't even, I mean, when people are making this kind of noise, particularly from my good friend and senior brother, we relate very well, Katie Hammond. Sometimes, you see, when we are playing the politics, it becomes hypocritical.
This is politics?
Yes. Do you know Katie Hammond? Do you know the position he occupies in Parliament? He's a ranking member for energy. They approve they are the first line. When the thing is laid, the loans and everything is laid, it comes to them. They approve. He seconds the motions. They have direct oversight over the Ministry of Energy. What was he doing? Was he sleeping on the job? Was he sleeping? It means that he himself is a failure if what he's saying is true. It means he himself doesn't know what he's doing. And he should be ashamed of himself if after the project is completed, now he comes and says, I've cited document. What oversight was he doing? Please, let's get serious in this country. Roland, Buidam, NDC government came and spent an additional $177 million to complete it. It means that you stole the money. It means that your government stole the money. This gang of four, this Accra, Achimota...
No, not gang of six. You used to say gang of...
Please. Achimota of Anko. How much was budgeted? 40 million Ghana cedis. How much was used to finish? About 240-something million. So it means that Kufuor and his team stole that money. If that is what you are saying, fine. Today, every project that has come to play, NPP says that you didn't get value for money. Even when and I'm very happy that when it came to the issue of Kaswa, their own ranking member came and said, look, Massa, as for this one, Honorable Odiobi, he said, as for this one, he will not agree with his flag bearer, Akufo-Addo. Because so far as he's concerned, he's checked all the figures, and what they have at the moment is what the ministry brought for approval. So, N1, if you look at the figures, we may say that is mind-boggling, but we know project management issues. If they are saying that, yes, a certain amount of budgeted, and yet there was an overrun, go and look at what constituted the overrun. You see, Roland, the media doesn't help us either.
I don't get you. Why doesn't the
media?
The media
2 days ago, please.
It's just at the forefront of putting the issues.
I'm saying that 2 days ago, and he also repeated it here. Government, president, chief of staff office has overspent their budget and things like that. And I asked my friends in the media, some of my friends in the media who were trumpeting, I said, so what stopped you from moving forward and asking what unnecessary expenditure, what were the monies used for? The deputy minister of finance has come to explain that some of the items that there were monies budgeted for other agencies which were routed through the office of the chief of staff. But nobody is prepared to go the extra mile. People just want to play politics, so they put something and then they dance around it and say all sorts of things. But you see, this is the only country we have. If he's talking about international people are worried and then our credibility, it is because of the way they do politics. It is of the,
I get your point.
Yeah, the way they do politics. Everything is wrong.
At the end of the fiscal,
it is not from the
at the end of the financial year, when expenditures show that there are huge overruns, you think it's just politicking if it's raised?
Please, I am saying that. Wait, Roland. You see, we have a system that operates. At the end of every project, there is a performance audit. At the end of every project, there is an audit by the Auditor General.
And these audit reports have given indications that the expenditures are excessive.
Roland, I sit on the Public Accounts Committee, not just an honorary member, I'm a deputy ranking member. All the reports come to me. I look at all the reports carefully. If you go into caucus with the Auditor General, by the end of it all, you begin to see that some of the expenses, and I'm not saying that all projects will have foolproof. There may be instances where genuinely people can be cited for not going through due process. Like you are saying, you see, when you talk about, for instance, sole sourcing, what is sole sourcing? Go under the law and look at sole sourcing. There is a procedure to go through before you are allowed to sole source. Did they go through that procedure? Was it justified? Go to the public procurement agency. Every sole sourcing project is on their website. It's public knowledge. The reasons that are given, the reason why you want that, because some of the things you are doing, if you are going to do Sinopec, what is their specialty? In the absence of Sinopec, give me maybe 3 other companies that is capable of doing what they have done.
In this world.
Please, please, please. I'm saying that you look at the exigency of time, resources available.
There was a Norwegian company that was being contracted by the MPP government.
But I'm saying that
they also could do the work that Sinopec is doing.
You look at several things and you look at the exigencies of time. Here's a case where we are flying a gas. Are we going to go through maybe a year of competitive bidding and keep flying gas? There's so many issues that come into play. But I am saying that, you see, we need to be frank and candid with ourselves as a nation. It is not enough for people to be jumping without evidence like KT has. I've cited document. What document? If you've cited the document, bring the document to the public domain.
At what point do you say just dismissing flagrantly a comment or concern being raised by a senior member of the House over a very important project like this as not being politics? Because if you just dismiss it...
I am saying that, you see, Roland, committees of the House are not just set up to sit down. They are set up to do proper things.
Including the very due diligence we're talking about.
Yes, for instance, one of my committees on which I said, we supervise the Attorney General. And all the time, including even last 2 weeks, when she came to present the estimates, we're asking questions about how far you've gone with a recovery of debts and all those things, because we have to be in the know and we go on. And she gives us a report. That committee is made up of both the minority and the majority. That report has a leadership of the minority being their ranking and deputy ranking, and then our chairman and vice chairman. It goes for all committees. So I'm saying that if KT Hammond will sit down and every step of the way he doesn't ask for a report of how money has been expended, why money has been expended, then he has failed in his duty to his party.
Your point has been made, George. But it is true. 2012, after 2012, we had overruns. Yeah. 2013, we had overruns. Yeah. And we're going to get overruns this year too.
And it has happened all the time.
Well, it doesn't matter. But the extent at which the overruns...
member is so proud to sit on national television and justify overruns and think that the international community do not care or exigencies of the time makes it prudent that we go along that. All our projects would have overruns, and we will find reasons to justify why they have overrun. I'm sure that if you're a project manager and you are running the project, it has timeline, budget allocation. If you run it 50% more, you should be asking yourself, if you have a project and you give it to somebody to run,
you see,
let me
but I think that
you coming back again to tell us that yes, some payments were routed through the president. There are systems, and you said there are systems. So if there are systems and money should be allocated to certain departments and agencies, even before the budget is run, and then after the budget has been approved, did Parliament do anything wrong by approving that much for the presidency? Did they do anything wrong?
But first of all, ask yourself what the budget is.
So,
what is the budget?
What is the budget? What is the budget?
Budget it's a proposal by the executive.
Exactly. Why would you propose if you are not going to work with it?
No. I'm saying
is it not an estimate of expenditure?
So if estimate of expenditure per particular department agency is given,
and you're not futuristically on how you focus your expenditure pattern should be.
So if you exceed it, then why would you want to put it there?
It's so interesting. I'll give you one example.
You think I'm just making a blatant?
Let me give you an example. Yoko last year came and they had overrun their budget by 8 million cedis. So we went to leave it. We said, Master, how? I think in 2011 or something. But the explanation was so clear. They were putting up a computerization system with a new office. They hadn't finished. International...
and they didn't budget.
They had budget, you see, they were budgeted for it for over a certain number of years. But when international partners came, They came and said, look, the state in which
was substandard.
Was substandard.
So
and we are going to blacklist you if you don't have the rights. So the president said, okay, give them
honorable. And this was justifiable that they did something substandard.
What are you talking about? We are saying that we are building. No, we are building a.
What you say is that the facility they have is not up to scratch.
Yes, so
they needed to
Roland, that is my worry. That is my worry.
What are you talking about?
That is my worry. That with all the technocrats, we will do something that does not meet international standards.
Oh, no.
And then we'll come and say that.
You see, you are taking it out of context.
No, I'm not.
I am saying that they projected that you finish the building in 3 years.
No, you mentioned substandard.
No, I'm saying that they said
you
that.
You just mentioned substandard.
Please, I'm saying that they said that they will finish the thing in 3 years.
It is not what they say.
But you see, that was their budgetary.
You see, it is not what they say. It is not even the budgetary allocation.
They came and they said that no. The state in which your thing
was substandard.
Yes, of course, it didn't meet our international standards.
Can you believe this?
Upgrade it quickly.
Can you believe this?
So we had to find the money from somewhere via the money and then
so who was punished because he did something that did not?
He hasn't done anything wrong. Nobody has done anything.
We did something that was substandard.
No, I think that you don't even understand the point.
Well, you can go personal on that, but as a state,
I don't think that you understand.
You can go personal. I don't understand. I cannot understand why a state Ghana.
I get your point. I get his point too.
The point is Ghana would budget for a project and do it substandardly, and you have a member of parliament saying that we did a substandard.
This one is about project and technology.
Yeah,
now the point is that
before
talking about it's like you have a mobile phone, but for specification wise, the type of mobile phone you need to undertake a certain task. It's not the right one. And so even though you've budgeted for this very mobile phone, within the cost of whoever has to give you the approvals for it says that this one is not right. So you need to get a higher version.
It's good to play the
engine. You didn't get me wrong.
All right.
It's good to play.
Let's solve the matter.
You are not making me make a point.
Let me clarify the matter before you go on. I'm saying that, look, this is Ioko.
We know what you are saying. You don't repeat what you are saying. We know what you are saying.
A certain office facility. They said that, okay, this facility, we budget this amount for this year. Next year, they'll add on. So they expect that by 3 years, they'll get to a certain level. But before the 3 years, they had been, international parties had come to audit them. And they are saying that, no. At the pace at which you are moving, it's too slow for us. If you do not get to this standard, because we are networking everything, if you don't get it to quick fast enough, we'll be forced to do what? Blacklist you.
So you have to.
So we have to quicken the pace, and we have to find money somewhere to finish. So
why is it that we didn't project that in the budget? We had to wait.
No. What I'm saying,
we're not futuristic enough to know that we didn't meet the standards.
I am saying that you have set up an organization, and as a country with limited budgetary resources, you have decided that we'll do it incrementally to this stage. But before you get to that stage, your international collaborators are saying, no. The way we are going, you need to be in sync with us. So, if you do not fast track, if you are not fast track, so government had to look for Roland and brought them to stand up. What are you talking about?
All you're saying is that a 3-year project has been squeezed into a short period.
It's good that government looks for money to augment and make sure that the project gets to the international standard. My worry, as a taxpayer, is that we know we are in league with international community.
So we should have preempted.
We know. Why would you budget? Upon what specification were you budgeting? Did you budget in sync with international standards?
No.
Because you just mentioned.
Roland, you cannot.
You know what? I could badge you when you're talking.
No heckling. No heckling.
I'm not heckling.
So let me just make your point.
When I finish,
you are with international community. You know you want to have a project. You budgeted for the amount of money, but you are not meeting the standards. And you are telling me that they did not meet the standard. That is my worry. What is the standard? If I have to buy a mobile phone, and I know what I'm going to use the mobile phone for, and I budget it and I go into the market, buy the mobile phone that does not meet my requirement, and then I go and buy another, we are just wasting money. The same thing, we have oversight responsibility for Ministry of Health, Ministry of Sports, Youth and Sports. When we were signing the GIDA contract, did Parliament fail Ghanaians? We gave money to GIDA. Was it in part of our budget? SUBA, when we were going to sign SUBA with the people, did we have oversight responsibilities? Did Parliament fail Ghanaians? We are running budget overrun. In fact, Our projection.
But the super thing is with the NCA. The ministry.
It is government. It's my tax that is being paid. Our projections do not matter. If we can overrun our budget and come and tell us that we provided equipment or projects that were substandard to international community and that they were not in sync with international community. They didn't say
it was substandard. The point
just mentioned that.
He said the pace at which you're going, you wouldn't meet the standard.
The project was standard.
No. You see, that's why I'm saying
you can play back. You can play back.
I think he gave an explanation as well.
He's just playing politics, so allow him.
I'm not playing politics. I'm worried that we would. We are in a country where our money, our finances are not the best. And then when we are spending, we spend and think that we can overrun it. For me, it's just budget is just 1 year. 1 year. So you make your projection within the year context. And then you overrun it by 50, 60, 70%, sometimes 100%. And then we justify it. As for justification, people justify why they kill. People justify why they commit murder. So we can have reasons to justify. But
what you're saying is that there's a need for the discipline.
There should be discipline. There should be
in the expenditure.
Discipline. We cannot just say
and George, I have heard you even on this very platform agree that there's the need for discipline.
Listen,
as far as
Roland, nobody sitting anywhere in his right senses will say that there shouldn't be financial discipline in any state. There is always an
but we've seen some excess.
Let's not justify
it. I'm saying that, you see, when you say our justification, nobody is justifying. I'm saying that you see, you are looking at the cost.
Arrest my case.
Listen, you are looking at the cost center. The argument is even more.
Let's move beyond.
No, the argument. I'm saying that the argument is even.
You brought that example. Yoko.
No, it's even more complex when you realize that the allocation to the office of government machinery was not overrun. It was just one cost center that was overrun.
Really?
Yes. It was only the office of the chief of staff that said they would spend their budget, not the whole government.
And the money was channeled from somewhere else?
Yes, because you via payments. Viament is in the law. So money is meant for something that has not been done yet, can be used to solve an immediate problem.
Wow.
That is viament. It's in the law. Go and read the financial administration.
Wow.
So really, those are some of the things. I can give you some. Look, in election 28, Dr. Akuto signed a letter and gave national security then
on the 200. 6th. Is he on the 6th?
No, I think it was just before on the 6th or on the 5th or something. 200 million Ghana cedis extra for election expenses. Was it budgeted for?
In December 5.
Yes, was it budgeted for? But was it a necessary expenditure at the time? Those are some of the things. Because when it comes and we are going to run an election and they think that the security of the nation is compromised, are you saying that because government says that that amount of money was not in any budget estimate or wasn't part of the security budget, so we should wait and let the country run into? No, let's be very honorable.
You see, don't use that.
I am just giving you an example.
For me, you see, for me.
He said that's not a good example.
And I'm saying that. So he's saying that.
Yes, I would think that it was wrong.
No, I'm saying that at the time.
Yes, let me tell you why.
He said that's not a good example.
I would think that it was wrong. Let me tell you why.
You know, accept.
Let me tell you why I think that it was wrong. Let me tell you why I think that it was wrong. In 2008, if I don't have facts to support it.
But the fact that it was in the media.
If that 200 million was given to security and it was not budgeted for. I think it was. No, listen.
I think
don't take the issues out of it. It was for security issues at the time. They needed to deploy, make sure they had extra arms because of the tension. And so we have to put things in perspective. And so you can't say it was a bad expenditure.
I'm not talking about it being bad.
Besides, it didn't go into somebody's pocket.
In 2008, we knew that December we're going to have elections. We knew. So as a nation,
but you can't get the tension in January. You can't get the tension of the election in January. No. You have to towards the end of the election. You get to know that there's a lot of
expenditure.
So you budget for
because it's because
tension.
Of
so you need it
because of the exigencies of the times. People, I mean.
So you
George, then
I said that. Then what is the essence of budgeting?
It's to guide you.
Oh, you guide and then run it by 60% in 2012. 2012
Roland,
election.
at the beginning of the year, you as an individual, don't you have a budget? Don't you have the things you want to do?
I have estimates, yes.
You have estimates. Do you sometimes not spend more than?
Yes,
because of certain challenges.
The money you earn yourself to spend. You earn that money yourself, or you borrow yourself.
Whether it's a loan or something.
It's you. Government is a corporate entity.
But government
so
is a
he has personality.
He's doing it on my behalf. The government
he makes expenses on behalf of his family.
On my behalf.
No,
and I pay. On my behalf.
Please.
So
but both of you agree that overrunning the budget is not.
It's not a good thing. It's not a good thing. But
if you can help it, you don't.
Yes, if you can help it, you
But you're saying that if you can't help it, you.
I mean, sometimes to solve the problem. Why? If the nation collapses on our heads.
From September 2012 to December 2012, how much money did we spend? How much money did we?
We overrun by how many percent?
Did we budget for? Over 50%. What is this?
What is?
And then
what was it?